shameless.
Yeah, I did. In the Europa League, Europa League.
Manchester United won, Fenerbahce won. Frustrating, man. The atmosphere was like electric. It was crazy inside here tonight, and you just knew that we had to be on our game if we was gonna win this game today. And we didn't. And the reason why we didn't was the same problems that we've seen, just lapses of concentration. Again, you know, don't get me wrong, there were moments in the first half we were good on the break, right? But it just wasn't enough, and we were lucky to go in 1-0 up. Very, very lucky to go in 1-0 up. So you just think, count your blessings, improve the performance, and then make sure you come out in the second half and don't concede and try and build upon that and nick a second. And it was just the opposite. How do we start the game? Look, we tried to quieten down the crowd. I respect us for that because, listen, being here in person, it's not an easy place to come to. I give the boys that. We had a bit of a different team, and you see Mazraoui in the 10, you're thinking, oh, hang on a minute, how's this going to work? I don't know about this. And he did all right, but obviously he's not going to create. He's not going to get on the ball. He's not going to make things tick. So, you know, from that point of view, it didn't really work. But actually, he had a hand in the goal. Joshua Zirkzee had a hand in the goal as well. He gets the ball from Mazraoui. He takes a good touch, sets Christian Eriksen, bang, goal. And it was all started from Garnacho and Ugarte winning the ball back. And that was the first time that we really saw any sort of attack from us, because it was basically them getting the ball down the sides, doing well in decent positions, and being a little bit wasteful. But the crowd was up and we couldn't really get a foothold of the game. We couldn't really get the ball, couldn't attack. And the first time we did, we go down the left-hand side, Garnacho gets at his man, and I'm going, yeah, cool, love that. And 1-0, so great, it's a really, really well-taken finish. Then after that, what did we do? Foot off the gas. Well, do you know what? I'm not even going to say foot off the gas because that wasn't deliberate, but the way that Fenerbahce just upped the ante with the fans, and again, the defence, we done our jobs. Ugarte, he saves a near definite. There was a definite tap-in, I think, for En-Nesyri. Gets his left toe on that, which was fantastic. Onana, I caught up with him after the game and just basically bigged him up, man. No one really wanted to big him up. Everyone's talking about the negative shit, which I get because we've got a long way to go. But him, as an individual, I've questioned him so many times and said, I just don't think he's good enough, etc., etc. But he shows big character. Them two, that double save there. Jose Mourinho was like, Jesus, he couldn't believe it. The Fenerbahce fans were clapping him, guys. They were clapping him for that double save. I think the double save was from En-Nesyri. Well, the second one definitely was anyway. So it was fantastic saves from them to keep us at 1-0. And then, you know, some other blocks as well. De Ligt was winning his headers. Martinez was doing well. It was a defence. The defence done well in the first half to make sure that stayed at 1-0. But really, we can't kid ourselves. They should have scored. Fenerbahce should have scored before the break, and it was a miracle that they didn't. And the warning signs were there all night because we just don't play with that control. Again, it was another game where Man United didn't control. We didn't have... You know, we couldn't dictate the play. We couldn't, make them eat out of our palms. After the goal, we settled down a little bit. Marcus Rashford came down the right-hand side just here, and he cut in. Someone threw a bottle at his head. He cuts in, and he has that shot just wide of the post, to be fair to him. That was decent. But other than that, we just couldn't get sustained chances in the first half. And it was more of Fenerbahce just, you know, they were moving the ball quite well. So Maximum was a problem, but... You know, his end product wasn't there until he gets the assist. But in the first half, Dalot and Rashford had a little bit of a problem in terms of, I think, Szymanski coming into that side. He was doing really well. And sent Maximum in that side. And Eric was trying to sort it out between him and Dalot and Rashford. And they couldn't quite get to grips with it. They kept getting in down that side. Ugarte, I think we saw his limitations and his strengths today. His strengths are he's going to run around like a mad lunatic and just foul people and tackle people, to be honest. And in this type of atmosphere, you need the players like that. You need the big players like that. And I think, to be fair, I'll give him his props. He was strong. He actually wins the ball back off Fred that led to the counter-attack for us scoring. I think that Christian Eriksen's goal was obviously brilliant for him. He kept the ball quite well in the first half. Second half, not so much, because again, we kind of just petered out. I do want to say this though, Joshua Zirkzee, listen, it's not an agenda. It's just an observation. All right, it's just an observation. He's got a lot of work to do, man. Like, don't get me wrong, he gets the assist, which was really well taken. So I think we saw the good from him. We saw what he can give us. But we also saw all the things that at the moment anyway, and I'm not sure going forward in terms of what type of player he is, which we're learning and he's learning. We saw him not being able to hold up the ball. He was slow. He had a chance to release Rashford. He overcooked it. He's not winning things in the air. He doesn't make runs in behind. I understand that's not the sort of player he is, but the mobility and the willingness to press isn't there from him. So he's got a long way to go, because apart from him holding up the ball for the assist for the goal, which essentially is why we got a point, so you cannot take that away from him. It was a really good first touch set from him and a nice little layoff to Eriksen. It was perfect. That's where you want to see Joshua Zirkzee, but he has to improve all the other sides of his game. He does. It's going to take time. Just like Rasmus, he went barren spells without scoring and really struggled last year. So we have to afford Joshua Zirkzee the same time. But some of the things I saw, it was just frustrating in a hostile atmosphere like this, in a place like this where, opportunities might be scarce, domination on the ball because of we're not that team might be few and far between. You got to look after the ball, bro. And he didn't do that enough. He put us under pressure. And I wasn't surprised to see him come off so early, to be honest with you, because in the second half you could tell where it was going. The story was there today, and what's annoying is it is the same types of players. You come out after half time, and we're fortunate to go in, and the lapse of concentration was just shocking. It really was. It was just absolutely shocking. And En-Nesyri, nemesis from Sevilla, gets the header. We allow St. Maximum to cross the ball, and Lindelof and Martinez didn't have a flipping clue where En-Nesyri was. Lindelof just kind of threw his arms up and just thought, I can't really do anything about that. Garnacho, live wire all night. He tried, he kept going at his man, even when they took off their right back because he got injured. The next right back come on, he kept going, had a few shots there, and like I said, was involved in the build-up. But it just wasn't enough. That was the problem. It just wasn't enough. And look, it's another draw. It's 3 draws in the competition. Not great. Bodo Glimt, Pilsen Net, PAOK, and Rangers to come. So we've got to start picking up some wins in this competition. At the moment, we're in the bottom half of the Premier League. We're in the bottom half of the flipping Europa League standings. It's not good enough. Look, but being here, I do have to say, and I don't know what you guys thought watching it at home, but I do have to say, being here, the atmosphere was ridiculous, and we know we don't cope well with that. So you do have to give Fenerbahce props. Like, there's a clear gap between the two teams, maybe player for player, pound for pound, like Jose tried to allude to. But in terms of 35,000 Fenerbahce fans inside here and players like Tadic, I thought that Zeminski was pretty good as well in the 10. Amrabat's going to run around and make it difficult. Fred was buzzing about as well. St. Maximum's a tricky customer. He leaves the ball behind half the time, but he's still tricky. Look, a draw on the face of it isn't that bad, but with just where we're at and we're trying to build momentum, it's frustrating. And Onana was saying that as well. He's like, the strikers, we need to be more clinical. We need to finish our chances, etc., etc. So, look, it's not one of them head loss ones. It's not like you can't come out here start cussing out the place and all of that. But at the same time, nothing's really changed. You know what I mean? We saw a lot tonight that we've seen in previous games. Do you know what I'm saying? And the chances we gave up, let's be real, they should have scored about 3. So we can count ourselves lucky that we come out with a draw. But on the balance of play overall, because, look, Onana was amazing. You can't take that away from him. Ugarte off the line was amazing. Can't take that away from him. After that, we did all right. But still nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near good enough. So when people want to say, see, beat Brentford and this, that and the other, this is why, again, we just have to just take it game by game and wait for the improvement to kick in. We roll on to West Ham, another difficult away game. They're doing absolutely rubbish. If we get turned over by them, again, it's going to be embarrassing. We need to go to West Ham and win, especially, back-to-back league wins would be amazing going into the Chelsea game as well. So, yeah, there you go. Man of the match, I don't know, we drew, man. I'm not in the great mood. So that's my wrap up. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Peace.